Next question. Hello, I have a question about links from cloud sites. Majestic says Amazon S3 is in arts category and that Google and Azure are in the computer category, but my client site is in the health category. So if I make a branded inner pages on these cloud site domains and point health links at them, the category is not going to match the root domain category. I thought the root domain had to be in the proper category, not just an inner page. So how does these cloud sites have any backlink power unless your client is in arts or computers? Cheers. Because take the cloud page URL and go analyze that in Majestic, and you'll see that there are no topical metrics. It's different because if the cloud page URL, you're not looking at the root there, right? Because the bucket is going to be kind of unique. So you've got like a unique URL each time, right? Does that make sense? So if you look at the domain itself, it's not the same as like building a page on a domain, like so what I'm saying is if you get a guest post on somebody sells you a guest post for $300 and they're selling it to you based on UR and DR metrics or PA and DA metrics or traffic metrics or a combination of those, some combination of those, then you're usually going to get a link that is on the page level is relevant. It's relevant at the page level because the content is going to be relevant to what its intended target is. But oftentimes, most of the time, the topical category of the root domain itself, the source domain, is going to be not related, not relevant. So you'll get page level relevance, but not source domain level relevance, right? And that's because you're not looking at like with the cloud pages. If you go to Microsoft or whatever we'll go to S3, the Amazon AWS.com domain, that's going to have a topical metric, right, of some sort. But that's not what you're not building on that. You're building on the cloud hosted pages. They're going to be in a bucket URL, which is with a different subdomain and all that. And if you look at that URL, you'll see there's zero trust flow, zero citation flow metrics. And if there's zero trust flow, there cannot have a topical trust flow categorization. You have to have at least a trust flow value of 1 to have a topical trust flow value assigned, period. Okay, does that make sense? So you want to take whatever bucket URL that you create for your cloud page, plug that into Majestic, and you'll see it has zero trust flow metrics, zero citation flow metrics. It's zero across the board. It has UR and DR, it has PA and DA right out of the box, but it has no trust flow metrics and no citation flow metrics. So it's a clean slate. And I talked about this for those that purchased the Yaks, Jesper Nissen's Yaks software through Semantic Mastery. We did a Yaks bonus webinar on how to do topical trust flow manipulation for cloud pages, cloud stacks, cloud pages, whatever. And I went through a 3-hour webinar specifically showing how you can manipulate that, because out of they come right as soon as you publish a page, a cloud hosted page on one of the cloud storage sites. It instantly has URDR, PADA metrics, but it has zero Majestic metrics. And then you can manipulate that the same way I just mentioned about the previous 2 comments, right? You can do 301 redirects with domains in the appropriate topical categories, direct to the cloud pages. I don't like to do a lot of those. That's a quick and dirty way to power up those cloud pages and push topical relevance into them. But I prefer to do built out rebuilt domains instead of just doing a bunch of redirects. Again, it's okay to use cloud pages as targets for 301 redirects because they can withstand it. They just like Blogger can take it. So a lot of authority, inherent authority in those. But I still prefer to build the sites out. Okay. That was a good question, but I think you're just a little bit off because it's different when you're talking about cloud storage URLs versus like an inner page of a typical domain, right? Does that make sense? It's really a different way to analyze. That's an apples to oranges type of comparison. We want to compare like to like comparisons, right? So I don't know. Hopefully that made sense.